Okay, we're recording, so let's get going because I'm excited about this call. So like we kind of posted before, these team calls, I'm kind of wanting to do them kind of to the basics, back to the basics, and keeping it simple, helping our newer ambassadors and our seasoned ambassadors, because this is always stuff that it's the simple 10 steps, and it's something that I love to go back to myself even after over 4 years. So this is kind of what I use, that quick start guide. It comes in our handy dandy success kits. And so we're kind of going in order a little bit. So we kind of already did the product of the product that was before convention, and then it's been crazy since convention. So we're back on track. So we're going to start with number 3 and 4. We're going to do both of those together. They're kind of along the same lines. So stating your why and your business goals or goals in general, okay? So it kind of gives you in the success kit, gives you a little bit of a definition of your why, telling you to write it down. I kind of wanted to go a little bit more into detail for you guys, and because I think this is so important from what I have learned, and I got some really good training on your why. So I want to share with you what I've learned. Okay, so your why. This is my favorite saying, and they said this at convention too, is people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Big, big, big thing that I have learned, and that sticks in my brain a lot. So you, of course, all of us had our why when we said yes to Plexus. There was a reason that we said yes to Plexus. So something to think about, you guys. I want you to think about that why, of why you said yes to Plexus. What was that reason? And a lot of times that changes. That can change the next day. That can change after a week sometimes of getting in the team pages and meeting some of the team members and really learning and doing your research and listening to YouTube videos and thinking, wow, there's a lot more to this than I initially realized when I first signed up. So a lot of times that why will evolve very, very quickly, or you may have signed up and you already know kind of about network marketing. Kind of, I know we have a couple of you that did on here, and you may have that why and be running with it, and then it's going to evolve later as you conquer that why, okay? Mine has changed constantly, and that's pretty neat because it's something that I have realized to dream big and make that why as big as I can because I can achieve it. So a couple questions I wanted to go through with you guys that I had to answer during this training to kind of help you guys identify your whys. And this is something for those of you that have team members that I think is so good to help them with too. A couple things. What are your financial goals? Because it's always a big thing with network marketing. We have that time and financial freedom. So what are your financial goals? What freedoms do you desire? And that's a big question. What freedoms do you desire? And where do you see yourself once you've reached your goal? Where do you see yourself? And then this one is my favorite. It kind of goes with that last one. How does that feel and what does it look like? So your why, when you achieve that why, how does that feel and what does that look like? Like, you know, depending on what your why is, everybody's why is so different. But if it's for you to be that stay-at-home mom, if it's to bring your husband home, if it's to, you know, pay the car payment every month, you know, if it's to save up for a mini vacation or a big vacation, whatever it might be, there's so many things. And feeling that, you guys, smelling it, hearing it, whatever it is so powerful. A thing that I always talk about that I love is, you know, for some, their why, of course, is the financial freedom to help their family, you know, to do different things. But when you have kind of that why of, hey, I would love to get that Lexus, because that can go towards your goals and your why. Or I want to take my family on that trip to Hawaii. There's a lot of people that have those whys. So for example, you know, if you want to take that trip to Hawaii, then by all means go buy you some Hawaii soap, go buy you some Hawaii lotion, you know, smell Hawaii. Go, you know, get an air freshener in your car, you know, that's pineapple. But look at pictures on Pinterest, you know, of Hawaii. Get yourself excited and live it. Live that why. Live like you've already met that why as close as you can. If it helps you financially, like I know so many it has to pay their electric bill that first month, that second month. Understand what that would feel like if that takes stress off of you and your family. Maybe it takes stress off of your husband. I hear that so much. Being that stay-at-home mom, what that would do for you and your family. You know, think about that, visualize that, and do everything in your power to kind of live that, to be prepared for that. Now, something that I love, that I think is super, super cool is Sandy on our team. One of her big things is to make leaders retreat. And she told me the other day, she went out and bought herself 2 dresses that she is going to wear to leaders retreat. How awesome is that? She's going. She's like, I'm going. I already bought my dresses. Pretty cool. So that there's a big, big thing to that. Okay. Another thing is, your why should get you up each morning. It should be your why to get up each morning and to live life to the fullest. It should be your reason to wake up and make that day great. And it should be your drive every day. I know that's a big thing for me because it's something that I have, you know, as my boys was to be that stay-at-home mom. And it was something that was very passionate to me because of my background of having our kids. And so it was something that every morning, that's what I would think about. And I didn't want to stress about our money anymore either, our bills and everything. So it was something that drove me every single day. I was passionate about making it happen. I knew I was going to. And, but the biggest thing on your why, you guys, is peeling back those layers. Peeling back those layers. So a lot of times I'll hear from people, you know, Jeannie, I want to make $200 a month. And I'm like, okay, but why do you want to make that $200? What will that $200 do for you or your family? And then think about it for a little while. Okay, well, maybe it will help me pay that new car payment. Maybe it'll help put my kids through a good school. You know, maybe it will help save for, you know, for whatever you have that is your thing that will help you and your family. And you have to peel the layers back a lot more. Because if you don't, just saying, hey, I just want to make $200 a month. No, you want to dig deeper. You want to dig deeper and, okay, well, that $200, if that's going to pay for a new car, why do you need a new car? You know, you got to get down to the emotional part of it. They say your why is supposed to make you cry, and there is a lot of truth to that. But getting down to the emotional part of it is so important that fires you, because so much of that is our mindset too. When you think about that and say, well, you know, because my husband's breaking down all the time, you know, or whatever. I mean, we've been through all of that. And so to be able to have that extra $200 to $500 per month can get you that extra car payment, you know, so that he can get to work and he's safe, or that you can get to work and take the kids safe to school, you know, whatever it may be. Okay. Peel back those layers is huge. And sharing this with your family. It's what I wanted to challenge you guys to do. Sharing your why with your family. So important. Letting them know. If you don't want to share it with your family, I'm not telling you have to, but share it with somebody. Share it with your best friend. Share it with, you know, a good friend, anybody in your life. Share it with your upline. Share it with somebody in your downline. Somebody that you respect, and let them know, because that brings a lot of power to your why when you share it with somebody. So I would love to see you guys, you know, rewrite your why if you've been a seasoned ambassador, or if you haven't and you've written your why. I would love to have all of you go back and look at your why and think today, okay, what is my why? Especially after convention, with all this amazing tools coming out in our products, and things have taken such a huge leap and a huge step. So I would love for you guys to rewrite your whys and really think about peeling back those layers. Get deep, get really deep. And I would love to challenge you guys. I was going to do a contest on the team page, I'll do a little post, and I would love to have you guys screenshot or take a picture of your why and post it in the comments. But I know sometimes people's whys are personal. So if you guys have one, you just flip the paper over. You don't have to show your exact why if you don't want to. If you want to share it, I would love to read all of your whys, okay? But I understand sometimes, you know, they can be a little bit personal, and that's okay. But I'd love to do a contest because I would love to see you guys each do this, because it's those times when you're down on anything. It doesn't have to be Plexus, but if you're down on anything in life in general too, that why is what helps pick you up. And you can go outside, I always say, and you can throw rocks at the tree or hit the door a few times, whatever you need to do when something's going bad, and you go back and you look at that why. And if you have it wrote down and it is somewhere right beside you where you can look at it and read it, a lot of times it will pick you right back up, kind of fills your cup back up. You say, okay, I'm good to go today. I'm good to go. We're gonna do this. I'm refocusing, and this is my why, and nobody is gonna crush that. Okay. But I would love to have, I was gonna kind of pick on somebody today, and I would love to have somebody share their why and maybe tell us a little bit, help maybe peel back the layers if we need to. So I was thinking, Ryan, would you want to share your why with us?
Sure, I'll share.
Thank you.
Here's part of it. He's right here.
Love
He's
it.
making it so it's. I have to multitask.
I'm all about that. Trust me. Go for it.
So my why, I have narrowed it to kind of 3. Hold on, buddy. I want to earn enough money so that I can be a stay-at-home mom with that little bugger.
Good.
And I want to help people improve their health and their lives. And I think that the second part is just as important, because for me, I don't like the salesperson feeling, and I don't like feeling like I'm trying to convince somebody to do something against their will. So having a belief in the product is a big part of my why as well, because I wouldn't be able to sell it otherwise.
That's right. I love that, Ryan. That's great. I love your why. Super cool. And so what I would say to do, Ryan, I think you've done a great job, because you've kind of broke down what it means to you to be that stay-at-home mom. So I want you to start picturing yourself being that stay-at-home mom, and what it's going to mean each day for you to stay home with him, because I can totally relate, as you and I have talked about before, on what that means, you know. And so it becomes really powerful, and it's what drives you and helps you achieve those dreams and goals. Because I'm here to tell you, I'd never thought I'd be doing this, and I never thought that was possible. I thought it was always the 9-to-5 job, and I had to do this, you know, that's what my parents did. And you know, good Lord blessed me with other thoughts of knowing that, hey, there is something out there that is a lot better and different for what I wanted. And that helped me achieve to be that stay-at-home mom, you know, for my boys. But it was exciting, Ryan, I will tell you, and the rest of you guys, when right before I turned Emerald, you know, that was my why for a long time, because for me, it wasn't necessarily about the trip to Hawaii or the Lexus. Those things were awesome. But it was that help for our family financially, because, you know, our boys wanted to rodeo, and for me to stay home, and those things are expensive, you know, and we don't give our boys, you know, they know what it is to work hard. We don't give them everything. We don't buy them a lot of stuff. That's just not how we were raised. You know, we want them to know what it's like to work hard. But for us, it was that financial freedom, you know, that less stress, because we had hit rock bottom. So we had struggled for a long time, and I was so sick and tired of stressing about that each month, when there was way more month than there was money all the time. Lots of months. And so for me, Ryan, it was pretty awesome of thinking about what that was going to do for us financially. And there was months that Scott and I would sit out on the porch and visualize, when I became Emerald, you know, what that extra income too was going to do for us. And my senior Ruby income had already done amazing things. So we were blessed, you know, but we knew that huge step of Emerald too that we learned to dream big and we could do this and that and follow our dreams of having our cattle ranch and all of that stuff. We would just sit out there and think about that. And it was pretty awesome, and it was very powerful for me because I know that's a big part of why it came true too, because of your mindset. So, but thank you, Ryan, for sharing that as well. I love that. Would anybody else want to volunteer to share their why too? Does anybody want to, or?
I don't necessarily want to share my why, but I do want to share looking into your spouse's why or your kids' why as well. It was really fun because Carrie Wilkerson at Leaders Retreat last year talked about how our family are our shareholders and they share our time, right? And so you have to think about what they're going to sacrifice to when they are missing out on that hour in the evening that mom is spending working her business. And so it was really fun conversation to sit down with my family and ask them what they wanted from that sacrifice of losing some of my time, and you know, what some of their dreams were. And like, it's pretty cool to see your kids, you know, they want certain things too. And then your husband, it makes it to where they're more involved in you're working towards a family goal instead of just what you want for yourself, even though that's really important too. Being a stay-at-home mom is super important for your family and yourself. But what does Daniel want? What would Daniel's why be is to allowing and supporting you doing this for an hour, 3 to 5 days a week. You know, it's kind of neat when you get them involved, and it really changed the way that I looked at my time that I spent doing this too. Instead of it being something that I took away from them, it helped me work towards their goals also.
Right. And there's so much to that, Libby, too. Thank you for sharing that, because there's so many times that, you know, we as women, which right or wrong, but we tend to work towards somebody else's goals and whys in our family harder than we do our own. So when we know that, hey, we're going to be able to, like Libby said, that family why of bringing him home or whatever it is, wow, really fuels us up even more sometimes and pushes us and drives us. But in the end, we usually get our why as well. That's what I find a lot of times. So thank you, Libby, for sharing that. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to jump right into goals then. You guys want to talk about this a little bit? Setting goals. This is a thing that I will be honest, I was terrible at for a very long time. And I just kind of winged it. But I quickly learned that goals are very, very important. And there's so many, I'll mute you, Alicia. Okay. There are so many different types of goals too. There's your personal goals, your health goals, your financial goals, your time management goals, which is a big one, your family goals, business goals, your spiritual goals, and if you have a team, your team goals. So there's a lot of different types of goals. And I really believe that all these different types of goals will help you with the success of your Plexus business too, because it all comes together. And there's been a method that we were taught in my Jules training, and it's called SMART, S-M-A-R-T. And I really have grown to like these. At first, I did not like them, but I really have worked with them and I like them. So the S is specific. Specific goals. M is measurable. So you want to make sure you put that timeline on them. A is attainable. R is realistic. And T is time bound. So definitely making them, you know, your measurable goals of, you know, starting small too. I mean, you want to have that big goal, but you want to put those smaller goals to get to that big goal. And the best thing I love about that, you guys, is when you can conquer that smaller goal. So say you want to get to gold right now. So your goal is probably to be, hey, okay, if you want to go gold, you know, in the next couple of months or this month, you know, it's going silver every month and helping those people to go silver, you know, and that duplication, right? So it's not necessarily that you want to go to gold, but you want to hit silver. And how are you going to do that? Each month, each week, each day? What are those IPAs going to be to get you to silver each month? that's going to get you to gold. And then the cool thing that I love about this is when you reach those smaller attainable goals, that you celebrate that. You need to celebrate those goals, whether you and your family go out to your favorite place to eat, or, you know, go out to a movie, or something just fun to reward yourself. Because go buy a shirt, you know, something, clothes, whatever, you know, you guys like to do, one of your favorite things to do, go make sure you do that when you reach that smaller attainable goal. Because that is very, very important. And then realistic, of course, you want to make it realistic to you, because I have found, and I've heard so many people, I'm going to say it, make excuses because they say, well, I wrote out my goals, and they have these great big goals, but they're not realistic to them. And so guess what? The next month they don't reach them. So then, okay, that's okay. You can reset them next month. That's okay to do once or twice. But after that, it becomes a habit. And then guess what? You never achieve those goals because you've already given yourself that break. Well, I can do it next month. No, I can do it next month. Guess what? A year later, you're in the same position because you just keep pushing them back, right? So definitely make them realistic. It's a huge thing. And then time bound. So putting that date on them, that time limit on them of, if you want to hit gold, then you say, okay, by June 30th, I want to hit gold. Whatever it is, putting that time down on there. Because that sets that, okay, so this is, and then you're going to backtrack. So I've got so many weeks, okay? I've got 4 weeks. So what am I going to do in these 4 weeks? Okay, this is what I need to do. This is how many ambassadors I need to sign up. This is how many customers, maybe to meet your PV goal. So what are you going to do during that week? What are you going to do during the day, every single day in your IPAs to reach that weekly and then monthly goal, and then boom, you've reached your goal, okay? This is a big thing that has really helped me, you guys. I wanted to share. I bought a whiteboard, and I wish I had bought this a long time ago. I do not know why I did not do this, but I love my whiteboard. And I have it up here by my computer, right up here, and I put my goals up there every month. So for me to visually see them and in big writing helps me, you know. If you want to be colorful and do it, I like that because I love colorful stuff, and I'm a blue for sure. But, you know, putting all that up there is huge. I see it every day. It just kind of shines out to me. And it's like, Jeannie, you need to get your butt in gear, and this is your goals. It's right here, okay? So I just love the whiteboard. Whatever you guys figure out, whatever works for you, okay? That's a big thing. What works for me may not work for you guys, but you got to figure out what works for you to write your goals down, because writing them down, I think it's only like 30% of people, if that much, write their goals down. It's a very low percentage. And so that is why the number one reason why people don't achieve their goals, because they never write them down. So find something that works for you guys and write those goals down. I love it because I have my level ones on here, and I have their goals for the month too. So I put their goals on my whiteboard along with mine, and then it helps me strive, you know, to help them each month to reach their goals. So kind of something fun that I've done. But your IPAs, doing your IPAs around those goals. Okay, so when you have that goal of getting to gold, you guys know what it takes to kind of, you know, doing your reach outs and making silver happen and duplicate, you know, to get those people to silver. And then don't stop at silver, of course, because guess what? Go buy 2 shirts if you get to silver, if you sign 6 ambassadors, okay? Go to the steakhouse if you get 6 ambassadors. That's kind of what we do, which is really fun. And then again, telling your family your goals, just like Libby mentioned, same exact thing she said on your why, is those goals are huge. Because if your family's on board with your goals for the month, and you have kids like obviously Ryan and I do, little ones, and so they take a lot of our attention, and letting them know, hey, mom's doing this for us, letting them know that why, and that, hey, these are my goals. So mom might not be present during, you know, this time, but this is going to be that end result, is look what we're going to do, because you're going to show them a picture of what it's going to do for your family to reach that goal. You're going to include them. And look, I do that all the time for our boys. And it is so fun because they are a lot of my motivation, because they will say, Mom, where are you? I mean, they know more about Plexus than a lot of people do, because they know the comp plan, they know what I'm doing and what I am striving for each month. So telling your family, I think, is very, very important. And then the same thing, with your goals, is experiencing that, living it. Something I'd love to do too, like if the Lexus and the Hawaii trip is one of your goals, that you want to get to Emerald, because absolutely, if you want to get to Diamond, that needs to be your goal. And then you set those little goals in between to get up there. So don't just say, yes, when somebody asks you a big goal, I want to be Diamond, I want to be Sapphire, I want to be Emerald, whatever it is. Or if you're settled at, Gold, Senior Gold, Ruby, whatever your goals are, those are your goals. And there is no right or wrong goal, okay? It's yours. But if you want to and get to that Lexus, something I say is, because now I'm so happy that I have that Lexus. So Lexus and Hawaii were pretty amazing after I made it to Emerald. So, but go to a Lexus dealership and go pick out which Lexus you want to drive when you hit Emerald. And I would love for you to sit in that car, put your hands on the steering wheel, feel it, live it for that few minutes. Smell that new leather. Oh, it's incredible. New car is amazing, but there's something about those Lexuses. They smell so good. And take a picture. Have somebody take a picture of you inside that Lexus, and just tell them, go into that dealership and say, you know what? I'm going to be Emerald pretty soon, so I will get a free Lexus, and just come in here and check them out. Oh boy, they'll love you. They, believe me, I did that. And I think, Jed, did you come with us? Or no, I know Jimmy did that one time, because Jed wasn't there. I was thinking he was. But we had a meeting at our Lexus dealership down in Phoenix, and a whole bunch of us went down there and took pictures of everybody buying their Lexuses. And it was so much motivation and excitement to see everybody just go and pick out that Lexus. I was like freaking out, because it seriously gives me goosebumps, because that was a really fun thing to experience. And we still have those pictures, and it's, hey, this is what I'm going to do. So get some friends together and tell them, we're going down to the Lexus dealership. We're going to tell them, dealers, I am about to earn my Lexus. So I'm here to kind of look. And when I hit Emerald, I'm going to be down here, and I want to pick out which one I want. But live it, you guys. Go smell it. Go drive it if they'll let you test drive it. You never know. Right? So something really important. All right, you guys. I have somebody who is going to talk. Shayna is going to talk for us tonight, because this gal is doing amazing, by the way. And she is working towards Leaders Retreat, and she's going to make it. And she's going to kind of go through with you guys a little bit about her goals and what she's doing to get herself to Leaders Retreat, kind of her IPAs. She's one smart cookie. So I'm going to let her take it over and just kind of share with you guys to give her thoughts and inspiration to you. So go ahead, Shayna, whenever you're ready.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. So my goal is definitely to get to Leaders Retreat. I'm pretty excited about it. One, because my husband and I, we have not had an official honeymoon. We've been married almost 20 years, and we've never really had a honeymoon. And this Leaders Retreat is on his birthday week, guys. Birthday week.
That's cool.
It can't be any cooler than that, right? So we didn't get to go deer hunting this year, but I think Disneyland's fine, or Disney World. That would be awesome. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Absolutely.
One of the first things that I actually started to do is, as this came out from convention, I immediately printed this off. So this is hello, and I posted it right by my bed. And I'm like, I'm going to go there, and that's going to be me chilling in the sun. So I want to be there. And the first thing that I ended up doing was, Libby sent me over Brooke Hemingway's video, and I loved it. So I watched it 3 or 4 times. I'm going to admit it, because I'm I can't do math, and this is Common Core math for me, because there's PVs and there's all these weird things. So I couldn't understand it. So I started to think, I really got to write this down, and I really got to actually target a few things. So I went back through the training, and I'll show you. I have my little handy dandy notebook here. And I started looking at my list, and I was thinking, I don't know if I can do this. This is a lot of people. But then I watched the other video about narrowing it down to your 10. And then I thought, that is doable. I can narrow it down to my 10. So I took those people and I wrote them down. Okay. I wrote all my 10 down, and then I added to my 10. So every 10 that I got that was preferred, I wrote a little button next to it, and I said, okay, they're preferred now, and I want them to go 3 more people on top of them. Then everybody that I got as an ambassador, I put a little dot next to them, and I said, they're going to get 3 people, because that's how I'm going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to do this on my own, and these girls are awesome, and I know they can get 3 more for me. So I went through my 10, wrote them all down. Everybody I have as a preferred. My plan for this month, if you haven't seen this yet, get it and print it off. Okay, it's out there. Jeannie shared it, Dusty shared it, Libby shared it, get it. I've already started mine. I did my June, and I'm like, checkbox, checkbox, checkbox. I was already surprised that I actually had checkboxes in both the new ambassadors and the preferreds. That was like mind-blowing to me. I was like, we got some movement here. This is going to be good. Okay. So now my plan is to work on for the month. Rest with my IPAs is to get my 2nd through 4th lines. So that's where that little dot with the 3 comes in. And I'm reaching out to all my ambassadors and asking them, okay, so who are your 3 friends? Who are your awesome people that you're going to get along with your accountability buddies? Every single one of my ambassadors have an opportunity now to get an accountability buddy. And so that's huge. Okay, guys, that's huge for me. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just writing stuff down and I'm going for it, okay? So that's kind of the first few steps that I've done, is basically write down my 10. I got all of my preferreds in a bucket, and the next month, those preferreds are going to go from this box to this box. They are moving from this preferred customer, because I get 10 points for them right here. Plus I get 10 points for their PV. And then if they come up here, I get another 10 points. So this is Common Core math. Like, I don't do math, but I can do the math on the paper here. Okay. So July, I expect to see, it's just basically the same thing, right? You have them as your personally new signs. They then replicate to the 3. It's crazy. They come down to here. These guys end up going up to here. It's just, I mean, I never thought of the whole power of 3, but it's getting crazy in my brain here. All right. So that's kind of my first little bit of where I'm starting. And my IPAs right now have been really targeted. I've been listening to Libby. She's a smart cookie too. I'm telling you what. She's like, get specific, get on it, just do it. I'm watching my videos every day. I'm paying attention to all the posts that are going out there and really setting up at least a half an hour in the morning and a half an hour at night to do my follow-ups, because even though I didn't think it was real, it is real. I sent like a message a long time ago, and then somebody finally gets back to me because I followed up with them. That was like, boom, my mind was blown. I'm like, they listened. And now they're coming back to me. What do I do? Because it's never happened before, okay? So that was kind of scary for me. But I moved past that. And now it's like an active thing in my book. So I'm really working on duplication. That's the big thing. There's no way I can lift or eat an elephant, they say, in one sitting. But many people at the table can definitely chow down on that, right? And do it all together. So the other goal that I really have is growing my team. So I have 6 ambassadors right now. Those now could have 3 underneath them, 3 underneath them. My target by August, if not sooner, is to have 21 altogether from my first to the second, which may have been a goal that somebody told me about the first time I talked to them. But I was like, listen, I just want my product for free. Okay, I just do. Well, I want my products for free, and I want to go to this retreat. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm going to target as well, getting 1,000 PV every month with 150 points for the next 3 months. And then on top of that, if you have each one of 2 or 3 preferred each month, as we talked, that really is huge. That's huge. I can already see it kind of starting to come in. So I've got my own accountability partner as well, which is my husband, whether he likes it or not. But he was stealing my product, so now it's mine. Opportunity to pull him in and get him going. So now he has been tasked with getting an accountability partner for himself too. So we'll kind of see where that goes. But that's I wouldn't say they're short term, but long stretch goals with some additional business building opportunity in there. And that's kind of where I'm currently sitting right now. So
awesome.
That's what I have for you.
Love it, Shayna. That was so cool. Thank you for sharing that. That was perfect. And
you're welcome.
I love everything you said too, and about your accountability partner too, because that's huge. And he is part of your why of why you want to get to Leaders Retreat. So there you go, and your goals. And so you're working together. Awesome. Super cool.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. And it is cool. And Libby can vouch for this because she went last year as a silver ambassador, and everybody kept reading her tag like, you're a silver. And Libby's looking at me like, why is this such a big deal? I'm like, yeah, that's awesome, So it's so cool because that's what I love about Leaders Retreat is it is doable for any rank. And if you, just like you said, Shayna, duplication, if you're teaching that duplication, you have those goals. And what's awesome is so many people are scared to tell their team, this is what you need to do. This is, you need to get your 3. It's going to help them. It's going to give them an extra $100 plus for everything else that they're going to earn. And then they see that and it helps them to pay their electric bill or whatever that, but and you're a big part of that. It's awesome. And then it teaches them to do that duplication because you nailed it. You can't do it alone. You can't. You've got to have their help. And so when you grab a hold of them and you're like, let's figure out your goals, what would this do for you? Let's do this together, and then you're growing a team. So you're fulfilling your other goal too at the same time, and you get to go to Florida at the same time. It's absolutely amazing. So thank you, Shayna. I loved that so much. Appreciate it. Does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask or anything else they want to share? GW, I know your mind is spinning.
I was just saying.
Great questions.
No, I thought that was awesome. And that's my goal to get the Leaders Retreat. And it's again, we have the right vehicle. I mean, overall, and it's just applying yourself and just rolling with it. So, and the thing that's so beautiful about this whole thing is everybody shares the love, everybody shares the learning, and that's the one, the one plexus. And I've been in this for about a year and a half, and I still constantly learn. And I say plagiarism is a good thing. It's okay to steal from somebody. I mean, we don't want to reinvent the wheel.
That's right. You got to figure out what works for you, DW, and that's perfect. Your strengths, like I said earlier, you've got to figure out, because what maybe I'm doing is not going to work for you, GW, or you take what you can from me, and you take what you can from Libby, and, from Shayna, and you got to apply that until you figure out, hey, this is what GW's, drive is right here. This is what works, and that's what is so cool about because I still am learning every day. That's what I tell people when they first come on is I love this business because it's always a learning process. And I am always so excited to learn something new tomorrow because there's going to be a new video posted and new tips posted. And, you might as well just stop working the business if you're not going to learn each day, because it's so exciting to learn and say, that's something cool I can try. May not work for me, but hey, I learned, and I can figure out what does work for me out of that. So I love that. And yes, you're coming to Florida with us, GW. That's one of my goals is to get you there. You got to unmute.
I said, absolutely.
Okay, awesome.
Challenge. It's like my shirt says, I'm surrounding myself with beautiful, smart ladies who make lots of money. I'm like, hey, let's go.
That's right. You're coming to Florida. It'd be so awesome, GW. So wonderful. Does anybody else have any questions or comments they'd like to share or ask? Appreciate
Where
you.
did Shayna get that worksheet she was using to track the progress of her preferred and ambassadors?
It's on the team pages, Ryan. I'm sure Libby can tag you in hers, and then that way you can print that off. So it's on. They use it every year, and it's pretty awesome because you can just mark off the little boxes, and oh my gosh, it's really rewarding when you're marking off those little boxes, like Shayna said, because it really shows your progress. So definitely get that and print it off, and it's awesome. So, yep, good question, Ryan. Thank you. All right, you guys. Well, took enough of your time tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining me on Monday. Always great to see your faces. And I hope you guys all enjoy the rest of your evening. And thank you, Ryan and Shayna, again for sharing so much, and Libby for sharing your wisdom. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.